Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw. We're doing our podcast, Season 2, Dangerously Funny. This week, we're filming in Hollywood, California, and we were lucky enough to get a very special guest who we did some stuff with last year when we were filming our comedy TV show on the street and doing some things down at Pink's. We have the Queen of Melrose here, and there is nobody better than Queenie. Queenie has a store called the Glam Squad down there on Melrose, very close to Pink's. Kaz has, in the last year, blew up on social media. He's going to be in some movies. He's getting sponsored by products now. And I'm quite surprised he still picks up the phone when I call. But with no further ado, the Queen of Melrose is in the house. Queenie, what up?
Jimmy Lee!
What up?
I could not pick up the phone for you, baby.
How are you, honey?
You were like a tattoo. I can't get rid of you. You know what I mean? Yes. 40 phone calls later, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to answer the phone.
He's going to answer the phone.
Of course you got love, baby. We're from the same neck of the woods.
Met Kaz about
We're from New York over here.
We're
we
both
gotta
from
respect
New York.
each other. You got my back?
Yep.
I got your back.
And I met Kaz at a gas station, and I remember what he said when I met him. He said, fill her up. He thought I was the attendant. And then I said, no, I'm the Jersey Outlaw. And he said, then he found the guy to fill it up. But that's how we met.
Yes.
And we kind of hit it off right out of the gate, right, Kaz?
Yeah, amazing. I feel like he's my cousin from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Literally.
And
literally.
we've been doing content
Family.
together about a year.
Yes. And I remember
Yes.
when you took me, you made the queen feel like a queen for the day.
What did we do?
A queen for the year.
What did we do?
Oh my God, you introduced me. Well, I know Pink's for years.
Right.
How long has that place been there?
80 years.
80 years.
Yes.
And then Jimmy has a connection.
Correct.
And he's like, come to Pink's. We're going to do a Queen of Melrose hot dog.
We did, and
you're
we
going to
cooked
meet
it.
the owner.
Correct.
And we made our own hot dog. And when I got there, everything was prepared. There was
Correct.
like 250 people there.
In fact, I think we got a clip of it, Kaz. Let's take a look at it.
Should we do a throwback?
Let's do a throwback.
Let's do it.
You got to tell the people where's the best place to get hot dogs in
Best
California.
place for hot dogs in the United States, probably
In the world.
Hey, hot dogs!
FOMO, 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 FOMO. Megan from Michigan.
That's awesome. Thank you
She's
so
a nice
much.
girl. I found that out last night.
Oh, yeah?
You guys know who the Queen of Melrose is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, guess what?
Queen of Melrose will be here.
Queen of Melrose,
If you're not
Cosmos.
here-
You know Cosmos?
Here's my hot dog. That was awesome. No, Jimmy, that was very sweet.
Well, I appreciated you coming, and you lit the place
that really
up.
made my day. That was all the beginning of my fame, you know.
No, that just
No,
that was
I've
an
been,
additive
like, famous
effect.
a while, but this really blew me up. You helped.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, so that's good on that clip.
So
Cor.
we're going to Pink's later for a hot dog?
Yes.
Or
So
we're going to go see Johnny Roast Beef in Rayos.
we're going to see
Where are we
Johnny.
going?
We're going to see Johnny Roast Beef tonight a little bit.
Okay.
If that's good with
You
you.
got it. Yeah. Hopefully he's working. We got to call him.
He is working tonight.
Okay,
So
good.
we're going to head down and see him. So I want to talk to Kaz a little bit about a couple things. Kaz, number one, has a very iconic store on
Two.
Melrose. Two stores.
Two stores.
But his main store is Glam Squad. And we actually did do a skit down there, I know, last year before we did Pink's, which was a smaller
It was
skit. We
so
don't need to
crazy.
show it. But I wanted Kaz to tell the crowd out there the vibe. And we had probably about 100 people in his store, which is small.
It was ridiculous.
And we were dancing to Cosmo's Factory song
We were
down on the
dancing
corner
and screaming. And it was
screaming.
like Studio 54.
Yeah, exactly. Tell the
meets
people.
Jimmy Lee meets the Queen of Melrose.
Yeah, and you had me trying on that one jacket that had a dick on the back of it. Remember that, Cos? And he's telling me to wear this to Pink's. And I said, Mr. Pink isn't going to have that one. So you gave me another jacket to wear.
We actually sold that jacket with the dick on the back.
Did you really?
Yeah, we got good
I
money.
think San Diego bought that. But we had such a good time in his store. I remember, you remember what you told me when we were done?
What'd I say? I told you a few things.
You said, don't
I
come
said,
back.
meet me at my hotel.
No, you said, don't come back because I don't want to have
gave you
anything
my
to do with
address.
you. And if you call, I'm going to call the cops. That's what you told me. And Monique was there, and she said, screw the Jew. And that's basically what happened.
But bump.
And then, as he said earlier, we went down to Pink's. I want to tell you, speaking about Pink's, this guy here is not only an entertainer and viral and everything like that, he's very appreciative of me. I want Corey to run that other clip.
First of all, let's hear it for Jimmy for putting this whole freaking thing together. Took me 30 years, and now I got a New Yorker coming to LA to give me my hot dog.
That's right. And tell them what you said. A very nice compliment. I met you for 5 minutes yesterday in your store, and you know what you said? What you said?
I said Don Rickles.
And you said, never come back to this store again. I want to see you.
Yeah. I ate too many hot
I
dogs.
mentioned your name twice. He went for the revolver. Ben had to actually grab his arm twice.
I remember I had so many people with me that was like, "Can she get a hot dog?
You
She
did.
wants a hot
You
one.
did have an
You
hot
want a
dog,
hot
guys.
dog? We don't. I cost them money that day.
You did, but he said everybody that's our fans are free hot dogs. Kaz not only has a wonderful viral store down there in Hollywood, he also has an aspiring film career, and I want him to share some recent things that have happened in his life that is making him a real celebrity now in California.
It's crazy, like what happened. You know, after Soft White Underbelly, that they keep on doing the same meme. The other day, I turned on my phone on a TikTok, and some hairdressers doing my hair, and I'm just shouting the meme. It was hilarious.
Right.
And those keep on going viral. So that was the gift that keeps on giving.
Correct,
the
like
Soft White
herpes,
Underbelly.
like herpes.
Like herpes.
The gift that keeps
Yes,
on giving.
Yes. And then after that, it was the Madonna concert.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So I was.
And she loves you, by the way.
I
I
was
spoke to her
screaming
about you.
I was screaming and yelling about Madonna.
She, by the way, told me you're a virgin.
About the parking. Yes.
told me.
Yes.
We spoke.
No, I'm bisexual. If I can't get it, I buy it.
Yeah, I'm trisexual. I try anything.
I'll remember that after the show. There we go.
I'm all in.
Okay,
all in.
baby.
All in, baby.
But yeah, and then it just went crazy. It went fucking nuts. And then I think somebody said, "You got to meet Jimmy Lee. You got to meet this guy, Jimmy Lee." I'm telling you, guys are cut from the same cloth. Would you believe?
That's true.
A
Two
tranny,
New Yorkers.
A tranny from the Village in New York.
Right.
And he's from what part of New York? Hell's Kitchen.
No, Manhattan and
Manhattan.
also New Jersey.
Right? The yin and yang, okay?
Yin and
This
yang.
one is the mob guy, right?
Right.
And I'm the queen from the Village, the queen
Correct.
of Melrose now.
That's true.
And they're like, you guys must be brother and sister.
Yeah.
Forget about it. You guys
Even his
sound-
real
you
brother's not
guys-
as tight with him as me.
Yeah, my twin brother.
Twin
Yeah,
brother.
Joey. He's the boy, I'm the girl.
I know that.
Yeah,
we know that.
You met Joey. You
I
guys
know
hit it
Joey.
off.
Joey's a nice guy. Do you get to know him?
You get to know him. Yeah.
Nice guy.
He'll rob you and help you look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway,
you look for
yeah.
it. I like that.
Yeah, and then things just went
You
crazy.
also, Kaz, had some wonderful sponsorships, I believe, last summer. You had to go to Queens or kind of where you grew
Oh
up.
no,
in,
yeah.
Or Staten
I
Island
did
somewhere.
A candle company.
Yeah.
I did an elevated, a candle company called Boy Smells.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was elegant candles.
Right.
Basically, they flew me to New York, picked me up at the airport.
Yeah.
Hair, makeup, food. I get there.
The whole
there's
9 yards.
Salmon, you name it.
Yeah.
Basically, they're like, you're going to be on a billboard.
And I heard you had a Tony from that and a couple Steves and a couple Oscars and Bobs, too,
It's in the waiting.
in the waiting.
It's
Okay.
okay. Yeah, that's next year.
Okay.
Yeah. One eyelash at a time, baby.
Okay, honey.
Yes.
What is the future for the Queen of Melrose?
The future. I don't know. You know what? I literally take it day by day.
Okay.
Literally take it day by day.
Okay.
There's a lot of transition in what I'm doing.
Okay.
There's a lot of makeups. There's a lot of breakups. You know.
Well, we witnessed that.
Yeah. So, you know,
witnessed that.
there's a lot going on. You know, there's a lot to, support the Queen of Melrose.
Right.
You know.
I know.
You see cars missing, dogs missing.
We already heard about all that,
I heard
yeah.
about that. Somebody tried to rob my dog today.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
Yeah.
robbery at all. She's in heat, and she ran away from my house.
She was in heat for
So I had a
Ben.
conundrum right here in this chair.
Right.
And we were going to, I was even going to cancel this thing for my baby.
Oh.
I get the phone call right here. We found your dog. Thank God you get chips in your dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Always put a chip in your dog. They found my dog
Right
in
in
a
his
half
ass.
hour.
The chip was right in
So
his
she's
ass.
at the pet hospital right
It's at
now.
the pet hospital with the
and-
veterinarian.
Yes. Yeah.
who did a test on his ass, put a dip of
There you
Vicks
go.
on it
Yeah,
to
broke
make
it
sure
off. Yeah.
if he misses his ass, he clears up his sore throat.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
why the dog's coughing up
And now he's
sputum
my
now.
new, and he's going to be my new husband. Did I
The
tell you?
dog?
No, the vet.
Oh, the vet.
Yeah.
You sound like Ringo. Yeah. A little bit.
So what else you want to know, Jimmy?
I just want to
Huh?
know. I just want to know.
How you doing? I heard it's been a challenging year for you, baby.
Yeah, we've rebranded a little bit, and we're working on our podcast.
Very good.
And we're doing well. We're interviewing you today, and we
And tomorrow
interviewed
you have Liza Minnelli.
Liza's tomorrow.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had to score a lot of twins from Netflix last week in New York.
Awesome.
And we have a lot of people. We had Frank Sinatra going to be on in 2 weeks.
Well, there you go. The ghost of Sinatra.
The ghost of Sinatra's coming on.
She's coming.
She's coming.
Is it Nancy?
It's Frank.
Or Frank?
Actually. It's Frank.
Okay, good. The ghost
Right.
of Frank Sinatra.
Now,
What
cause
about the ghost of Joan Rivers?
Joan Rivers is in the works.
She's in the works. Okay.
In the
perfect,
works,
Perfect,
yeah.
Perfect.
So
No, I'm so glad. I know you're rebranding, Jimmy
Yeah,
Lee.
we're rebranding
You're
in a
gonna
positive-
fucking-
in a positive
you're gonna
light.
You're gonna fucking kill it.
oh, thank you,
It's gonna
dear.
be crazy.
Thank you, love.
And that's why I was glad to do your show today.
Well, I love you.
Yeah.
And
Between
one
the
thing
li-
about
between the
cause,
lions and the tigers and the dogs and the cars being stolen, I'm here, baby.
yeah, one thing about Kaz, loyal, and he's been through a lot of struggles. And what Kaz taught me in life, because I've gone through my own recently, is it's about overcoming and figuring out as time goes on what to do to make yourself better, and become a little bit more aware, and figure things out as you go, and try to learn from your errors and not make the same mistakes.
Exactly.
I'm guilty of that. Kaz has been through a lot of struggles personally with himself, and he's bettered himself. And look where he is today. I mean, who would think I'd be sitting here in a studio with you? I mean, it's just crazy how the journey goes, and you just really never know.
Well, that's what happened on Underbelly. That's why
Yeah,
it went so
that was
viral.
kind of your turn
Because,
right
you know,
there.
everybody on there was doom and gloom, right?
Yeah.
And during pandemic, you either watched Lion King
Right.
or you watched Underbelly.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know about Underbelly. I watched Lion King.
Right.
It was so good.
Right.
And they asked me to be on the show, and I went on the show actually. And usually the show's about doom and gloom, people
Yeah.
who don't recover.
Yeah.
You know, and
A
they
lot
have,
of
like,
people
all
that
these
are
stories
drug addicts,
and stay
prostitutes,
way.
all that stuff. Yeah.
But I actually went on with the solution.
Yeah,
like
you
you
did
can
the solution.
recover.
Yeah.
You can recover.
And he's a very good testimonial that you
Yeah.
can fix yourself, but you have to want to fix yourself, and you have to put your heart and soul into that
Right.
and make that happen. Because if you don't want to do it, it won't happen.
Exactly.
And there's many people, like he said, that choose not to fix it. It's easier to stay the way you are than change.
And they just want to stay there.
Correct.
But
Do you want to share some of your personal struggles, or no? Or
I mean, what do you want to hear, baby? I'm an
well,
open
some of the
book.
stuff you talked
You
about.
want to hear
on-
about the freakouts with P. Diddy, baby?
No,
Okay.
the problems you had.
You know what the
that-
freak-offs?
that you talked
We'll
about.
talk
on-
about that later.
Yeah, talk about what you want to talk about with some of your struggles, with your coffee.
No, I'm just saying, like, my life started really great. It was, you know, I was in Harlem, Spanish Harlem, I was 16 of Pleasant Avenue.
You're the only white guy, but go ahead.
Yeah. I was the only white queen.
The only white queen.
Yes. And I was a little queen running around with a towel on my head and my
Right.
mother's shoes.
I
And
remember.
you couldn't tell me nothing.
I remember that.
And then my grandmother would be like, you know, these old Catholics, you can't be gay. And I'm like, fuck you. And then the Bible will set me free. And my
Right.
father's like, where'd this kid come from? He
Not from
wanted
me.
to slap me, but he was proud of me because I stood up for myself.
And you were different.
And I was very different. Yeah.
But you stood by that.
But I found out I wasn't that
You didn't
different.
cave
There
in.
was a lot of kids like me, but they were afraid to come out.
Right.
You know, they were not allowed to come out. The parents didn't give them
Back
a
when we
chance.
were young, it was almost like you were ashamed. Today, it's very open.
My father accepted me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember I would go to this Freddy's Pizza place.
Yep.
And we'd all hang out there. The mob was there.
I remember
And I
that.
would press J5. It was Michael Jackson.
Yep, I
Remember that
remember
song?
this. Yeah, I
Stop
was-
the love you say
remember,
be
yeah.
your own. And I would
I
just be a
remember.
little queen, and all the mob, and they're gonna be like, your son's gonna be a professional dancer over here. They knew I was gay.
Right,
What
right.
would they say, Cosmo? Your kid's a fag. Your kid's a fanook. You know what I mean?
fanook, I know
No,
that's
they
what
were
they-
like, your son's gonna be, he's gonna be a star. You know, because I was really I never came out of the closet because I was never in.
I know.
You know, I came storming out.
You came storming
So that's
out,
how
yeah.
that's how it began.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, I did find drug addiction.
right. So that's
You know,
one of the things I remember
so
watching on Soft White
basically,
Underbelly.
It was a very bad journey. In the beginning, it was fun. It was like coming out here. It was Carlos and Charlie's. It was a
Yeah,
nightclub here.
I
You
remember that. The
it was
Bistro.
Tony Danza. It was Rick James.
Carlos and Charlie.
And here I
yeah.
am, 17 years old, and I'm dancing and I'm snorting and I'm partying with all these people.
Yeah.
And it was like
Back
the
in the
time of my
90s.
life.
Yeah.
Then I go back to New York.
Yeah.
And it was like the Limelight, and it was like Studio 54
Yeah.
reopens, and
You're right.
I was in all those clubs.
Yeah.
Having the time, you don't realize at the beginning it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Drug addiction, but it's very.
And what happened? Tell
it's
them
very
now the dark
beguiling.
side. Tell them the dark side. What happened?
Well, the dark
when
side.
the table turned.
What happened? Everybody started partying. Everybody had to go back to work, and
Right.
nobody told me because I was up for 9 days in a row, so I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
You know, like I would hang out with some people. They're like, "I'm tired, Cosmo. I'm going to go to bed."
You just kept
fuck
going.
the 8 ball, fuck the drink. You know what I mean?
You just kept going.
But I just kept on going till the wheels fell off.
You just
And
went.
eventually they fell off.
Yeah.
And I had to sit in it for a while. And it was a few years of struggle.
Right.
Good thing we come from New York. We have a crazy work ethic.
That's the truth.
You know,
all the
my whole
time just
family works
work. Yeah.
construction. They all crazy work ethic. They're on like scaffolds and they're partying too.
Yeah.
They go out Friday night. You go to sleep Monday morning.
Yeah.
You talk about this cup for 3 hours. You're like, look at this cup over here. It's got water in it. It's white. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you're fucking wired on cocaine, you'll just get stuck and talk about anything for
Speaking
5 hours.
about cocaine, Kaz actually just got a role in the new movie Cocaine. Problem is, he only has one line.
But today I could do one line and drop it. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I'll just pass on the line.
So I have to
Because
I have to say
I'm high on life.
he's an amazing person because
So
not,
tell me,
not
look-
only wait a minute, not only is
Yeah.
he talented as a performer and viral and very charismatic, he was able to overcome a lot of things from his childhood when he wasn't accepted to when he was on drugs. And a guy like that, everybody
No,
probably said,
I was accepted.
okay, but
I
when we
remember
were
that in
young,
the
it
mob.
wasn't really accepted if you were gay, is
Right.
what I was saying.
Right.
Here's a guy that had everything going against him,
Thank God
who
I
was
was accepted.
probably voted
I would have been a
the most
basket
likely to conceive, not succeed. And what's he do? He turns himself around, comes here, has a store, has an entertainment career, and then he gets lucky, gets his break. He gets to meet Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw, and then his career went in the crapper. No, and then his career shot right
Well,
up.
I'll be honest
right
with
up.
you, this is a gamble right now.
This was a
you know what I
gamble.
mean? I got a good friend, a friend in need, friend indeed. He called me, could come do my new branded podcast.
Right.
I have so much fun with this guy and respect for you, honestly.
I love
because,
you.
you.
He knows
you got
he
me-
knows where the love is.
You got me the best hot dog I ever had.
I did. And you were going to ask me a question.
Yeah.
And then I have a surprise for you.
Okay, so I wanted to know, like, you grew up in New York too.
Yes.
You know what I
New York
mean?
and New Jersey.
And probably the same times, probably at the same age realm.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
My birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday!
Then we're going to celebrate tonight at Rayo's.
We could go to Rayo, see Johnny Roast Beef.
Johnny Roast Beef.
He's still at the door over there.
I know he's at the door. He
Yeah,
eats the
yeah.
profits too, you know.
Yeah. Well, good for him. He deserves
Yeah.
it.
He's two of my best friends.
They got to break him off.
He's two of my best
Oh,
friends.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so then dinner's on you guys.
Dinner's on actually Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben's treating.
And who's Dr. Ben?
Dr. Ben.
Oh, fabulous. Okay,
Babu.
okay. Good, because I want a porterhouse. I've been dying for a good porterhouse.
But you were going to ask me before I have a
I
big
wanted to
surprise.
ask
Yes.
you.
Yes, sir.
Because I know you were around the discos.
Yeah, we were.
You were around
Yeah.
Studio 54.
Yeah.
You grew up the same times I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Did you ever fuck with drugs?
So one thing I didn't do
Because
is
cocaine was a big one, remember?
because I went to college in a Jewish family. They tell you you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer. So I went for dentistry. My brother went to be a medical doctor. So through the course of college and professional school, never really drank and never really did drugs at all. I would study a lot and really focus on a career and did that when a lot of guys that I grew up with, they kind of went down the
Yeah,
path you did.
yeah.
Some
So you
fixed
probably-
and some didn't. So I wasn't into the drug scene at all. I was into going out to clubs, having fun, meeting people,
Right.
dating girls, and when I was single, but I wasn't into drugs or alcohol.
Right. And you probably don't have that addictive gene.
For fame and FOMO,
For
but not
fame, okay.
but not for any.
So you have that healthy drive.
Not for like gambling
Right.
or drugs or
Right.
alcohol. No,
Or
not at all.
Like when it comes to ruining your life, it's a no.
No,
It's
no.
a big no.
I've had enough problems with my controversial comedy insulting people with that. That people have to figure out it's supposed to be in fun,
Yeah.
and I kid around with
you know
people
what,
with a
today-
good heart.
But you know what? Today you really got to watch.
You got to be a little more
what you say.
careful.
I know a lot of comedians that don't
You're
even
right.
want to go on stage anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I can't say this and I can't say that.
Then you can't be funny. If you
Yeah,
can't do
be funny.
comedy
If you
and
can't do
be a little politically incorrect
Right.
and you can't laugh at yourself, cause
Exactly.
what's comedy?
Exactly. So,
So-
hopefully that all passes like gas.
Yeah,
'cause
now-
right now it's a really tough time for
I
everybody.
did something very special for you
What'd you
today.
do, baby?
Well, so I have some special guys coming in here for a pop-up. I'm the Jersey Outlaw. I ran into a guy, get this, the LA Outlaw,
Oh.
Dr. Ben.
Okay.
And a very good friend of Dr. Ben's is, you ready? Queenie Ramirez, who has come in directly, flown in overnight from Puerto Rico.
Oh.
Queenie Ramirez, Cheetah Rivera's daughter.
What?
Yes,
Did
she
she
is
br-
here, and Dr. Ben. And guys, after we take this break, get ready for two very, very special guests. That's Dr. Ben, the LA Outlaw, and Queenie Ramirez. We'll be back. Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw. We are back after a break, and we got extremely lucky today. In from Puerto Rico on an overnight flight that got halted in Miami because the drug shipment went bad. Queenie Ramirez is here, Cheetah Rivera's illegitimate daughter from Marco Mangananzo, who actually wiped out Carlos's uncle during the riots in Watts, and it happened in Brooklyn. And we have Dr. Ben, who used to work with Dr. Denzel, who is now the official Los Angeles Outlaw. Who's dead in your favorite movie?
Who's dead from your
Who's
favorite
your
movie?
dead from your favorite movie is a new podcast streaming now on Hulu and Netflix. And it is Monique Ramirez and Dr. Denzel, Dr. Ben over here. They're going to be talking about that a little bit. But first of all, I want to talk to these two people about how the hell they ended up in my life. Ben, how the hell did I meet you? How did that even happen?
Jimmy, I've been to a bathhouse twice in my life, and you were there both times.
Okay.
I was at the front taking tickets.
You were taking tickets.
You were a frequent. I just let you on
And then
through.
you landed in my hotel as a bartender. And you remember what you said to me when I sat down at the bar one night?
What did I say?
You
Please
said,
leave,
"Kid,
sir."
get out." You don't remember that? And I had to get the GM in here to straighten. He twisted your arm, and you said, "What do you want?" I said, "Give me a Sambuca."
Well, you know,
and you gave me a double.
Oh, I like to take care. You know, besides
You
wanting
did good.
To, besides
And how did
wanting
I
to
meet
imitate
Monique? When Kaz and I, many years ago, did Border Patrol down in Miami, twice she tried to get in, and Kaz kept going like this, and I'm like this. And eventually she kind of stuck through. Kaz turned his head the other way. Trump's guys came
No, I
in.
saw her butt. I'm like, you start tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
There it is.
It's
there it
eighth
is.
wonder of the world.
Gorgeous.
The eighth wonder of the world. So this is, we're
You can
giving you
land an
guys,
aircraft on that thing.
we're giving you,
It's
a,
amazing.
You got a good one,
Free flights.
Cosmo.
we're giving you a preface of how we met. We're going to start with Dr. Ben. Ben, tell the viewers a little bit about you, your podcast, and the future in entertainment.
Well, I got to tell you, I've been doing a lot of things in entertainment my whole life, and I've never felt more excited about something like this, where we get to bring light to a taboo topic.
You were
He's
going to
my-
say life.
He's
I
my
knew you were going to
chi-
say
He's
life.
my twin.
We
Look
bring
at the
life
outfits.
to death.
We bring life to
You know?
death.
And we do it through movies. Who doesn't like movies? Everybody's got a favorite movie. And I started this during the pandemic on TikTok. I had a TikTok account as a brand.
You have to say it like a Filipino. TikTok.
I was with a TikTok.
TikTok.
And when I met Monique, I had a joke account that I had started. And my dad and I always sit around, we're Polish, and we watch
TikTok.
old movies, and we watch TikTok.
TikTok.
And we're like, they all dead and gone from It's a Wonderful Life.
And to give you an idea of what wonderful personalities both of them have, which are That's why they're talking about dead people, because they got a very good underground following.
We do. Underground,
what-
from behind.
Underground,
they don't
yeah.
talk back.
They don't talk back.
We always use the back door.
Exactly.
And I always love working with gay men. And when I met Monique, a friend said, "Hey, he's on TikTok." And before we even said hi, like, "Your name's Monique, I'm Ben." Like, she's like, "Let me see your account." I was like, "I'll give her the second one." That was a joke. That was always a reply
Yeah.
to the comment.
Right.
And she was like, "Let me see it. This is a podcast." That was a year.
And I
got to
tell you something. This is. I'm proud of them. They're up to 2 fans now on the OnlyFans page, and
By the
Kaz
way,
is
my mom
promoting
says
them
hi.
very heavy.
Your mom's
My
one
mom
of the,
says hi.
Her mom's one of the
And,
subscribers.
they got 2 fans in the attic, also right next to the air conditioners. One more than I have, to give you an idea.
But Jimmy, I gotta
Yes,
say,
love.
you have been such a supporter, so sweet. Your heart,
so
I see.
nice.
I've always
So
seen your
special.
heart, like
Yeah.
straight through the insult comedy.
Right.
I mean,
and
that's my
people that
jam.
know me know it's in fun to laugh at ourselves. And I don't have
have
any,
always been here for me. So
a harm intended or anything
no,
like that.
no, you have
Right.
such a good heart. You're so sweet, so vulnerable.
I am.
And this is one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen. Watching
One of the
you two
biggest
together.
hearts. I mean, he was going to go into cardiology. He has such a big heart. But what happened was, the problem was they took his blood pressure. The doctor stopped working. He took the blood pressure.
Where do
That's
you
the
like
end
to
of this
get
guy.
poked?
We'll talk. That's a whole nother podcast.
Believe it or not, I'm the poker.
You are the oh really?
Oh, he's
I'm
the
the
pitcher.
pokey.
He's
Yeah.
the pitcher.
I see it.
I'm the poker.
I see it.
Now, if I may,
But
we
we're
have-
going to do an OnlyFans scene after this.
We are,
So
but-
we're all going to find out. More will be revealed.
I have-
I'll
now,
produce
I
it.
gotta
I'll
say,
produce
I
it.
gotta say, to have somebody fly in from Puerto Rico and fly all the way here for 12 minutes on a podcast that gets 30 views, I mean, it's a hell of a move. And this gives you the idea of the intelligence of the type of people we deal with on this podcast. Queenie Ramirez is here. Queenie, the spotlight is yours.
Oh, tell it, Mama. Tell it.
Queenie was very friendly with Suzanne Summers, and she told me she turned a few heads, but turned a few stomachs too in her TV show. But tell us about your
Actually,
career.
I did work with Suzanne Summers when
She
she
spoke
was
to
on.
me last night about you.
Oh, did she?
Well, from your podcast,
Was she
Dead
for
in
our
the Movies.
podcast? Because
Dead in the Movies, yeah.
Rest in peace. I worked with her on Dancing with the Stars. She's fantastic.
And she wonderful.
Has she been in any films? We would cover her
Oh,
in our
yeah.
podcast if she
She's
has.
been in some films.
Oh
But-
yeah.
So I guess I flew in from Puerto Rico, but I am
Puerto
Mexican.
Rico.
Oh yeah, I can't even say it.
But she's
Puerto
Mexican.
Rico? Yeah, Mexican.
You want to learn about Mexican culture? This is the one. Seriously.
We need the Mexican people for the burrito.
for the food.
For the food?
You know
For the-
what?
for
I
the- for the
just
enchilada.
heard that it's like the national food of the U.S. now.
Yes.
Wasn't it called?
No.
That's true.
Y'all like tacos.
I went to
You guys
Taco
like
Bell,
tacos.
Monique,
That's right.
and I was very impressed. The manager knew my ethnicity. I walked into Taco Bell. The guy said, "Do you want a taco? Do you want a burrito? Do you want an enchilada?" I said, "Fucking people are smart."
We're kind of psychic.
They're smart.
With the
Kaz was
uptick.
with me.
We're a little bit right
Kaz
here.
was with me on that one.
God.
We're a little psychic.
They
so,
are.
so
Tell us about you.
Oh, me. Well, I'm a producer,
Today.
and I'm
Today,
here.
we need to
We're
know.
here with you with talking about our podcast.
It was a no-brainer to come
Right.
here.
Right.
Well, there's no
Well,
brainers up in here. That's why we're here.
Tell us about your podcast, Monique.
So it's Who's Dead from Your Favorite Movie. It's a comedy podcast. We
Right.
try about the dead actors in your favorite film. So we would love to have both of you on. So we
We'd
would
love
ask
to
you
come
what
on.
your favorite movie is, right? And we actually go down the list of everyone who actually died in real life.
Can you
in a
give
film.
us a good story or
well,
or-
just
Yeah.
you say Val Kilmer, Gene
just-
Hackman right now. Everybody gets way more animated than what's happening in the world.
So
that's
pick-
our that's
so
our
Those are
what's your
recent,
favorite
the
movie?
recent deaths.
yeah recent deaths.
What's your favorite movie, Jimmy?
Saturday Night Fever.
Okay. So we'd go through Saturday Night Fever. Oh, I already know. What's her name? Stephanie.
Yeah.
But who died?
Yeah.
She's passed away. So
Yep.
we would go.
No, she
we
didn't.
would.
Stephanie passed away?
Yeah.
John Travolta's youth.
Nobody called me and even
Yeah,
told
nobody.
me.
Nobody
Wait,
invited you?
Stephanie was the chubby girl that was the good
No.
dance?
that was a different
the
one.
one he ended up with.
The one he
the
danced
older
with.
woman.
The dance,
Stephanie
the
McDonald.
older
Okay.
woman, and
Yeah.
she's like 2 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah. She died.
Mature.
She died.
She did.
And nobody calls me.
See,
I did.
See, we didn't know
Nobody
about that.
calls.
we
How
would
do
talk
I
about
Did anybody
her.
call you?
Wait, nobody calls anymore.
We know
Nobody
about Val Kilmer. We know
calls.
about Val Kilmer.
Nobody, right? Well,
Very
Val
sad.
Kilmer called me, said I got
65.
about a minute left. left.
Gone
I
too
did get a
soon.
call from Val.
Gone
65 years old. He died too young.
Too young.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who was the other one? Gene Hackman,
Gene
Yes.
Hackman.
who was too old.
You guys, that was weird
Yeah,
though.
99. He was like 99.
I'll tell you that
That's
I
still
did get a
happening.
call from Robin to tell me that Val Kilmer was.
He's
He
one
was
of
in the
our
Bat Cave. No, I did get a call from.
So
Robin.
did you
Oh,
guys,
I thought you meant Williams.
No, Robin.
did you guys start your podcast yet?
We have. Okay, we have 4
So
episodes
what is the
out.
go-to people? Like, you know,
where's your
usually-
go-to?
Yeah. Who's the go-to, like, dead people?
We got, you know,
Like, who's
when
the
I'm
most
talking
popular
about
dead
it,
people?
it's like Brittany, not from the podcast, but Brittany Murphy when we're talking about it. Everybody loved her. Robin Williams, I
Robin
think
Williams.
he enters the room.
What about
somehow?
any legends? Like
Any legends?
Sunset Boulevard.
Kurt Douglas,
Oh.
Norma
Gloria Swanson.
Desmond,
Gloria
anybody of
Swanson.
that?
Gloria Swanson,
Gloria
Yeah,
Swanson.
yeah.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
Not
You're
Jimmy Lee.
thinking just like me.
So there's been a lot of legends. There's
been a lot of legends.
Cheetah
Wait.
Rivera, your mom just recently passed.
I wish I had those
Oh,
legs.
could you do that again?
You had those
Yeah.
We did do a James Earl Jones in the actual podcast. A James Earl Jones had just happened, so
James
that
Earl
came
Jones
up
is one.
one of the movies. So it's in the containment of the movie, but then we get to talk about the
Oh,
legends.
Tony
Right,
Curtis.
okay.
I know Tony Curtis comes up a lot.
So you asked.
Yeah.
So you asked somebody. You asked the contestants on your show. I mean, your guest.
Yes.
Your favorite dead people.
What's your favorite movie?
My
Cosmo?
favorite movie.
What's your favorite
There's
movie?
so many.
There's
Oh my
so
God.
many.
There's like Betty Davis. I can go on and
You
on.
like the old ones? You like the old ones, Cos?
Yes, the old ones. I like the legends.
Yeah.
Like the
Who's
legends.
your legend?
As an actor, I like John
Besides
Travolta.
yourself.
John
Oh,
Travolta.
yeah.
Oh,
John
my,
Travolta, but he's still living.
my idol's myself. I get up in the morning, I look in the mirror, and
There you go.
I see the applause
I
sign
knew
go off
it.
over the
It's,
top.
it's an
I mean,
ever
you know,
evolving list.
I was waiting
You know,
for
we
that
leave the
answer.
room and all of a sudden we don't know what headline's going to be there. So we take your
I'm my
favorite
own
movie.
idol. Yeah.
What you pick one, and we focus it on why it's your favorite movie. And
What-
we
what do you- what is
cover
this, Ben?
who's
You're like a rabbi.
We cover.
You're
it's,
talking
it's the
with-
burrito, the national.
There you go.
You're like bar
It's
mitzvah.
The LA
You're,
Outlaw
you
Talk.
look like you're
It's that
loitering at
big,
bar
huh?
mitzvah.
The uptick in OnlyFans
Amazing.
made everybody's mouth bigger. I think that's what.
You got
It's
Parkinson's?
the hot dogs. It's the hot dog talking.
Do you know I had a
the
voodoo
host.
donut? Listen,
wait, what?
Not to get off the track here, but last night my fan came to my store.
Oh.
And you ever have voodoo donuts?
Yes.
No,
yes.
no.
They're
Donuts.
fucking
They're good.
delish.
Can we go after?
They
They
are-
just
yes,
opened
we
one
can.
on Melrose on the corner.
They're really good. They're really
Oh
good.
my God.
So anyway, my fan comes in and he goes, "These are for you," and I open it. I actually have it on my Instagram, and it's two big dicks with big balls.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Two donuts. So I'm like, "Is
How
there
thoughtful.
cream inside?" So I take a bite off the head. Right? I
As you
gave my
do.
employee the balls. So anyway, and I'm squeezing this thing, and it's not really a lot of cream coming out, but it was all in the balls.
Oh,
What does that do? Wait a
isn't
minute,
it
Cos,
always?
what's that
I'm
tell
telling
you?
you.
Isn't it
Cosy,
always?
what's that tell you?
$6 for this penis fucking donut. We should all get one after the podcast.
It's happening.
We are. And
happening.
tell the viewers where we did tell them where we're going to be a little bit later tonight, where we're eating.
We might go to Rayo's.
Oh.
There we go. But not Rayo's, New York.
No.
where I
Not
grew up.
sponsored.
Rayo's, Johnny
I grew up
Roast
at
Beef.
Rayo's in Harlem.
That's right.
You did.
You know, Rayo's in Harlem.
Oh.
But it's a year waiting list still
It is.
to get in. Unless you walk in with Jimmy Lee.
You're walking with a
Jimmy
celebrity
Lee's got
like
a
me or
connection.
This
Queen,
man-
So
you
we're going
got
to
it.
Rayo's Hollywood.
We're going to
baby.
Rayo's Hollywood,
And we're
baby.
going to go see Johnny Roast Beef.
Johnny Roast Beef.
He's been
correct.
working the door there.
He does work the door.
So anyway, we get VIP.
give him a cookie, goes
Are
away,
we going to get
Monique.
VIP, Jimmy?
Only if
Always.
Okay.
These two
Only
walking
if-
in, I can't.
So,
I gotta say, guys.
so we're going to go to Voodoo's Donuts, and
Yep.
then we're going to go to fucking Rayo's.
Rayo's.
So I gotta guys say in closing here, this is probably the best podcast I did today. I have
you.
Queen of Melrose. I have Queenie Ramirez. I have Dr. Ben, a.k.a. Dr. Denzel, the L.A. Outlaw. Ben's the
I want
only
to know how
guy.
she went from Puerto Rican to Mexican in 5 minutes.
It's done by mirrors. We'll talk
And
later.
my
That's a
queen-
whole nother
my
thing.
tiara's
That's
at the
because she
cleaners.
doesn't
It's the
have her.
booty.
She doesn't
Next
have
to
her
Meghan
papers
Markle's.
yet. And I don't want any trouble at the border. Because they walk around in Mexicans with the KO pectate running under the underwear. They go, sitting in me on hill. And they try and slip everybody through. Or they walk in and go, turn on the television. Because they got mud in the hut. And the hut starts to fall up.
Por
And I
favor.
walk around and go, turn on the television. Turn on the television. You give them a cookie, they go away.
How's he doing?
I'm all right
He's
now.
doing a
I had a
good
rough
job.
week, with the Mexicans.
We'll ask your therapist.
He's doing
I got to
all right.
tell you the truth, may I? It's my podcast, may I?
Yes.
I took him to the Hoover Dam, and we went to a Mexican restaurant, and I said, how you doing, cuz? He said, I'm backed up.
He goes, that's okay. I happen to have laxatives in my
I got to
pocket.
thank my guests today for coming on Dangerously Funny. This is our first episode, season 2, in Hollywood, California. There's many more to come. Guys, have a great night and stay tuned for more of Dangerously Funny with Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw.
Jimmy!